Let me just get everything set up here on my end. All right. All right, and here we go. So what we're going to be talking about today, as you know, since you signed up for today's webinar, is that we're going to be talking about how we're going to be talking mainly about some of the big upgrades that we've had to BizPayo, sort of focusing on how engagement agreements now drive online payments. A little quick introductions here. I am Callie Bransford. I'm the digital team manager here at Build Your Firm, and I'm going to be the one presenting today and going over all of the new upgrades to BizPayo and just sort of talking about the tool. We also have Nita Sabo dialed in as well. She'll be sort of hanging out in the questions area. If you have any questions throughout today's webinar, feel free to put them in there at any point. We will probably save some of the questions for the end if they're questions that make sense for everyone to sort of hear. Otherwise, Nita will be in there sort of answering your questions. So don't feel like you need to wait until the end to ask any questions. You can pop questions in there at any point and we will get to them. So the demonstration that we're going to go over today of BizPayo is of BizPayo, which stands for Business Payments Online. And it's a service that basically enables you to get paid fast and to get paid at $0 net cost. What we'll demo today really extensively is the new option that allows you to engage, retain clients, and get paid from your clients kind of all in one step, all from one tool inside of the new BizPayo dashboard. It's really just the ability for you to be able to click a button to engage a potential client, have them click to accept to work with you, and then to automatically set up initial payments to you and to set up recurring payments to you as well, kind of all from one click, essentially. It really does everything for you, and we really believe that it's a very powerful tool because it's going to help save you time and save you some money as well. And I actually want to just start off by just asking you guys a quick poll question, which I'm going to put up on your screen here. Here we go. You should see it pop up here in just a second. Just wondering about how much time do you spend on billing every single month for your firm? I kind of just wanted to know, if you think about all of the hours that you spend on billing every single month, you spend on your invoicing, time maybe going to the bank with checks, contacting your clients about payment that's due, mailing engagements, paperwork, and so on. About how much time do you spend every single month on your billing? I'll give you just a second here to get your answers in. All right, and it looks like people are somewhere between the 4 to 6 hour range or the 12 or more hour range. So a little bit all over the place, but in general, somewhere between 4 to 12 hours is what you're spending every single month on all of the billing tasks that you need for your accounting firm. Now, I don't know about you, but to me, my time and the time of the team members on my team is really very precious to me, and time is very, very important and valuable. And I hate wasting time that I could be spent getting more important things done. And when I look at some of the hours here that people said they were spending every month on billing, whether it's 4 to 6 or 12 or more hours that you're spending, creating invoices, chasing clients, driving checks to the bank, what I see is valuable time that's been wasted that you could spend doing something more valuable like growing your business or making money. So like I've mentioned, the tool that we're going to demo and talk about today, BizPayo, is really designed to help eliminate a lot of that wasted time. And I'm going to show you how you can do that in the presentation that we're going to go over today. Really quick, just a little bit of information before we jump into the demonstration, just for your reference. I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between electronic payments versus paper payments. Electronic payments, these sort of two boxes you see here, just sort of comparing the two, just so you can see the differences between getting paid online, which is that box that you see on the left, or getting paid by paper check, which is the one you see on the right. So electronic payment usually gets funded somewhere between 1 to 6 days. If I get paid $100, I get an email letting me know this client has paid me $100. That money is going to fund into my account as early as tomorrow, or it could be as long as 6 days. It really depends on a lot of things like the payment method, the time of day. Credit cards tend to fund somewhere between 1 to 3 days. If somebody was paying by ACH or e-check, probably going to take a little bit longer, somewhere like 4 to 6 days. But in general, electronic payment is going to fund to your bank account in 1 to 6 days. And then the other thing about getting paid electronically is if you do it correctly, the cost to get paid can be as low as $0 net cost if you use a recovery feature. And we're going to talk a little bit about the recovery feature that you can use inside of BizPayo to do that. In contrast, we have paper checks, which tend to take a lot longer to fund to your bank. You're looking at somewhere between 30 to 45 days. And then the price of getting paid by paper check is actually about 4%, which might surprise some people because you think, well, I just get the check and I cash it. But the cost really comes down to the time value of the money, your effort, the paper, the postage, time spent going to the bank, writing up the checks, all of that sort of stuff. So I just wanted to quickly sort of cover the difference between those two. What we're going to be talking about today is obviously BizPayo, which allows you to get paid electronically. We are going to go through 2 different demos in today's webinar. The first demo that we're going to go over is how to get paid at $0 net cost. We'll just sort of cover that pretty briefly. And then the second demo that we're going to go into is the engagement tool that I was telling you about, and that's what the majority of what we'll talk about today is going to be about, is that engagement tool that allows you to engage, get paid, and retain. And then, of course, we'll leave time for your questions at the end as well. So the first part that we're going to cover is in part 1 of our demo, getting paid at $0 net cost. We're going to cover a basic strategy that you should have in place that helps you produce big time cash flow. And this is what you need. You need a strategic payment page like the one that you see on your screen here. And the goal is to have people come in to a really simple page like this that just has 2 options. The first option that you see here, the top button, is to get paid by e-check, which specifically says that there is no fee. You can see it says pay by e-check, there's no fee. And this is really important because it just clearly outlines that there is a few options to pay, right? They can pay by e-check for no fee. And the next option is that they can pay by charge card and it has a fee associated with it. Now this fee, when you use the when you use the BizPayo tool, this fee is something that's controlled by you. You put this in and you control this fee. The BizPayo dashboard allows you to make it whatever you want it to be. You can put in a percentage up to 4%, which is obviously according to all of the rules and regulations for the payment processing fee industry. It also allows you to put in a fixed fee dollar amount, such as $10 or $15. And you can also choose for it to be nothing. You can choose for this to be $0, in which case this would say $0. But the point that I'm trying to make is that your customer comes in here and they can pay you, and they can always see a couple of options. They can always see that there's a free option that allows them to pay for fee, that allows them to pay for no fee, or they can choose to pay you by charge card for a fee. And thus, this allows you to recover all of the fees that you would be charged by third-party processors. So the idea is you can recover it all, making it $0 net cost to you. And of course, all of the major credit cards would be accepted. You'd be able to use MasterCard, Visa, Amex, Diners, Discover, all of those as well. The second part about your payment page is getting your customers to your payment page. So that's the other part that we'll cover in our first demo, is just how you get your customers to this payment page so that they can get here. There's a link for them to get here so that they can pay you, and it just makes it really simple for you and for them as well. Second demo that we'll go over is the Engage, Get Paid, Retain. This is where we'll talk about that engagement feature that allows you in a single click to engage a new client, receive payment authorizations, set up recurring payments. And how I like to really think about it is you're kind of just setting yourself up to get paid on autopilot when you use this engagement tool. It's how BizPayo allows you in a single integrated system to just do all of the things which is going to allow you to get paid on autopilot and save your firm a lot of valuable time. Like you guys were saying, you're spending somewhere between 4 to 12 or more hours every single month on your billing. And this system is going to help you get some of those hours back. So let's go ahead and get started with part 1, how to get paid from your customers at $0 net cost. We're going to do this just very quickly. This is a brief demo before we get into the sort of bigger demo. So let me pull my email over here really quick to show you. So what we are going to do here is sort of show you an example of an email that I might be sending. Let's pretend that I am Roger Beacon and I work at Beacon Financial Advisors. And this is an email that maybe I'm sending to a client. I've just sent him a tax return through my secure file sharing tool. I'm letting him know what his refund is. And then I also want to be able to ask him to make payment for the services. So you can see what I have here in my signature is I have a simple link right here that says click here to pay me. And this immediately is going to bring them to that strategic payment page that I was sort of talking about that allows them to make payment. So I can say click the payment link in my signature below to make payment for $500 for our services so we can go ahead and finalize. And then all my client needs to do is go ahead and click that link and they're going to come in to my own unique payment link. They'll have the option to pay by charge card or e-check to make that $500 payment. They can fill out their information here. We'll just put myself in here, keep it quick. And they owed me $500 for service. Of course, they can always reference an invoice number if they needed to. And then here's sort of that magical piece of BizPayo that allows you to get paid at $0 net cost. It's these 2 buttons that you see here. It's that choice. Remember, I control the fee, so they have the option to pay by card or to pay by e-check. If they pay by card, there's a fee associated with it that I control. I can make this whatever I want. I can make it $0 if I want. But the goal is to set it so that you can recover your fees. And of course, the client always has an option to pay for free as well if they don't want to have to do that. So they can pay by charge card and opt to pay the fee, or they can choose to pay by e-check and they don't have to pay any fee at all. So let's just say that this person is doing an e-check. I'm just going to put a fake number in here because I'm not actually going to finalize it, just to give you guys an idea here. But they're going to go ahead and put in their information, hit continue with e-check, and the system is going to allow them to go ahead and review everything, and then they could hit finish if everything looks right? And they always have the option. They can do it by card or by e-check. The client is happy because they get an offer for free, and they, so they have the option for what they want to do, but there's always a free option as well. So what I want to do now is actually log into the sort of admin side of this dashboard, log into what it looks like for you as an accounting firm to log into your BizPayo dashboard. So let's go to that link and we'll go ahead and log in. And this is what it would look like when you log in as a BizPayo user. And the first thing that you would do, obviously this is an active account with lots of stuff going on. If you were logging in for the first time, you wouldn't see all these recent transactions here. But if you were coming in for the first time, the first thing that you would do is come in and set up that recovery fee, so that when your customer clicks the link that you provide and gets brought in, they see the recovery fee. So the way that you do that is you come to the left navigation here, you choose company settings, and you'll see that there's the option here for recovery fee. You can set it to be a surcharge anywhere, like I said, between 0 to 4%. You can set it to be 2.9% if you want. You can make it 3.1%. The point is you can control this. You can make it whatever you want it to be. And you also have the option to make it a flat fee as well. Like I mentioned, you want to make this a $15 flat fee. you can do that as well. And of course, there's always the option to do none as well. So let's just go ahead and come here. Maybe I want to change it to 3.1%. Go ahead and hit save. It lets me know that the record's been updated. And then the next option under here would be the payment link. And I can grab this link, and this is that unique link that I use, that I give to my clients, that I put in my email signature, that I link on my website, or that I have Build Your Firm link on my website for me, that's going to bring people right to that payment page so that they can make payment to do it. So what that is really just a demo of the bones of the tool of BizPayo, how you can use it to get paid electronically from your clients, and how you can do it to get paid at $0 net cost, and ideally how you can do it to recover all of the fees. So what I want to do now is move on to the second demo, which is how to use the engagement tool. But before I do that, just because I just sort of showed you a demo of how the tool allows you to get paid electronically, I have one more poll question that I want to ask you, just to sort of get an idea of where everyone is that's joining the webinar today, to know if you're currently accepting electronic payments. So take a second and let me know, are you currently accepting online payments, but you're eating all of the costs, meaning you're not recovering the fees? Are you using electronic payment but somehow recovering the costs? Or are you not accepting electronic payments at all? So I'll give you a second here for everyone to get their answers in. Just let me know, if you are accepting electronic payments or you're not, and if you are you recovering the costs or not? I'll give you 1 second here to get your answers in. All right, great. So I'll actually show this one to you. Let me close this. I'll show you the answers. It looks like people are sort of all over the place with this one. Let me see if I can share the answers with you here. We've got about a quarter of you, actually it got split just perfect here. We got a quarter of you that are not currently accepting electronic payments, which is great. Hopefully you can see how this tool can start to help you accept online payments and make it really easy for you. And then we've got 3/4 of you who say you are accepting electronic payments, but you're currently eating all of the costs of it. So hopefully you can see how BizPayo will allow you to continue to easily accept electronic payments, obviously credit card and ACH, and recover those fees so that you don't get stuck paying all of the fees as well. So let's go ahead and move on to the demo of the engagement tool. This is what we believe is a really valuable upgrade to BizPayo, and I think probably what most of you were most excited to see in today's demo. So what I'm going to do is just back out to the dashboard of BizPayo. And I want to actually first just sort of set this up. Let's pretend that we're engaging a new client. Many accounting practices use some type of agreement. I actually have an example here that I'll show you that we'll use for today's demo of an engagement that somebody might send. Let me pull it up here on your screen so you can see it. Make this nice and big here. Okay, so what you see here is, a standard engagement that, an accounting firm might be using. This is for our sort of demo account. We have Beacon Advisors here, and this is the engagement agreement that they send out to somebody. Maybe this is somebody that I spoke to on the phone or I met them in person, whatever it is. I've gone through whatever closing process I use in my practice to get this person interested in working with me and hopefully being able to close them as a client to get them to agree to sign this engagement agreement. So certainly I could print this agreement out. I could mail it to her. In this instance, we're engaging somebody named Michelle Jones. I could email it. I could print it out and mail it to Michelle Jones, maybe ask her to sign it and mail it back to me. I could wait for her to send me a check for the initial payment, then set her up for recurring payment on whatever I'm using or send her an invoice every single month. This certainly works, but it can be a very time-consuming process, and it really adds up to those hours that you spend every single month on your billing. But whatever, it is, however I got to this point, I'm now at the place where I'm ready to send Michelle Jones this engagement agreement so that I can engage them. And obviously, it's sort of outlined everything that what we're going to be doing for our work together. It outlines the services that I'm going to provide for Michelle. It lets her know that the monthly fee is going to be $250 to handle the above, and that there's going to be a $500 initial payment at this time. So it sort of lays it all out, right? She's going to be paying me $500 when she signs this agreement and when she agrees to these services, and then we'll be billing her $250 monthly, ongoing as outlined above. So at this point, using the BizPayo portal, all I need to do is go into my portal, and I'm going to use the new Engage feature. So I'm going to go over to the left navigation. I'm going to choose this third option down here that says Engage. And then I'm just going to go through these steps, and the system makes it very simple, sort of just walks you through how to do it. Go ahead and hit begin. I'll show you how it works. The system's going to prompt me through the whole process. The first thing it's going to ask me is how much do I want to get paid now upon the acceptance of my services. And as the engagement agreement said, Michelle is going to pay me $500 at the beginning. Then it's going to ask me, am I going to receive scheduled payments from this customer? So am I going to get recurring payments from this client? And the answer is yes. She's going to be sending me $250 every single month. That's what the agreement said. So this has no end date, and she's going to be sending it to me. Well, I'm going to be billing it to her every single month. Next screen here is going to allow me to go ahead and upload that agreement proposal. So I'm just going to hit choose file, and I'm going to go out to my computer, and I'm going to upload that customer agreement. This is the customer agreement we were just looking at. I'm going to go ahead and upload that and hit continue. And then it's just going to ask me to put in a little information. This is going to put Michelle's information into the system. I would put in her email address so that I could send this out to Michelle so that she could get this engagement that I'm sending to her. For the example of this demo, I'm actually going to put my own personal email in here so I can show you what the email looks like when it comes through. So we've got our information in here. I can hit send, and now this engagement agreement has gone ahead and sent off to Michelle Jones, and she's getting an email right now. I'm going to show you what it looks like in a second. That lets her know that I've invited her for this engagement. Just to show you though, if I go back to my dashboard, I've got a couple options here along the top. The first one is always going to show me my recent transactions, but the last one is recent engagements. When I click that, it's going to show me all of the engagements I've sent out, and we'll see now that we've got Michelle Jones here at the top, that I sent this to her on 12/19, and that the status here is still pending. I can click the magnifying glass, get a little bit more information. Maybe if I'm sending a lot, I need to know a little bit more about it. What did I send out to her? Remind myself, oh yeah, this is to Michelle Jones. I sent it on the 19th. There's even a link here to the engagement agreement I sent to her. So that always lives here. There's always a link to that agreement. Reminds me the payments that we were going to have, $500, $250 recurring. And maybe it's been a little while. I need to remind Michelle, or she called me and said she didn't get it or whatever. I can always resend the engagement agreement to her as well. But the important thing is that all of these engagements are always in here forever, right? You're going to have a history of all of your engagements for as long as you're using BizPayo. You'll have that history of everything that you've sent to them and what the status is, so you can sort of see at a quick glance. But what I want to do is actually go out to my email and show you what it would look like for Michelle, the email that she would have gotten letting me know that, letting her know, I'm sorry, that the Beacon Advisors has engaged her. So this is the email that came through. It says engagement of services, dear Michelle Jones. Lets her know engaging with us is very simple. Please use the following link to enter our engagement tool. And then all Michelle needs to do is click this link to go through the process of accepting the engagement. So let's pretend we're Michelle for a second and see how that looks. So I'm going to click this link. The first thing it's going to do is give her a link to that engagement agreement that I had uploaded. So it's going to let her know, please go ahead and review the following document, and then click to accept or decline. So she can click this, download it to her own computer if she wants, or just read it, and decide if she's going to decline this agreement or accept and continue this agreement. The next thing it's going to ask her to do is to please complete the following 2 items to accept this agreement. So what this is actually going to be is her legal acceptance of our agreement. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but what this does is it becomes her legal acceptance. She's creating an e-signature here by putting in her full name. She is Michelle Jones, and selecting the date that she's accepting this. It's reminding her that per our engagement terms, the following payments are due: $500 now, $250 recurring due monthly. And then she can go ahead and just fill out her information here. Michelle Jones, we'll put in a fake, we'll put in my email address here, maybe a fake address. I'll make something up here. She'll put in all of her information and hit next. And then she gets the option, of course, to choose how she wants to make payment to you. She can pay by card. She can opt to pay by card, and she would pay for that. She would have that fee. Remember, that's that fee you control. We changed it to 3.1 when I did the demo a few minutes ago. You can make it whatever you want. Or she always has a free option to pay for no fee. Let's say she's going to choose to pay by card. So I'm just going to put some fake card in here. We'll just pretend this is going to expire. We'll put her name in here. Obviously, this wouldn't actually go through because I'm just putting something fake. The system would let me know it's not a real credit card number, but just for the point of this demo, we'll just pop this in here. The system will allow her to go ahead and review everything, let her know she's using her charge card. It's going to be $500. It's going to be she's going to have a recovery fee of $15.50, and then her total is going to be $515. And then she knows that later it's going to be payments of $250 recurring. And you can see when I hit finalize and accept here, it let her know that the payment didn't go through. So I'm actually going to put a fake credit card in here really quick just so that we have something. Hang tight one second. Oh, you know what? I don't, so it's fine. We'll just pretend that she's got a credit card in there that works, and she's got it all in there, and she's entered it, and it's good to go. Obviously, she'd be putting in a real credit card. She wouldn't be putting in a fake one. So now what's happened on my end, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm sorry. I need to complete this. I'm sorry. Let me put a real one in here. Hang with me one second, guys. I gotta put a real credit card in here to complete this so you can see how it looks. So she's just gonna put her info in here. Name's Jones. Put my email in here. All right. Next. She'll pay by e-check. And I'm just going to grab that e-check number that'll go through. Give me 1 second here. All right, here we go. We're going to use this number. This is our little fake account that actually works. I promise it's not real, so you can't use it to try to buy your Christmas presents this year, but it will work for this system for the point of our demo. All right, we'll go ahead and hit finalize and accept. And now it'll let her know that we've received her acceptance, look forward to doing business with her, and of course, if she has any more information. But what's more important is what now I, Roger Beacon of Beacon Financial Advisors, is going to get in my email. So if I go back out to my email now, I've gotten a couple of notifications here, but most importantly, BizPayo's let me know that I've had an accepted engagement. I have a new customer. Her name is Michelle Jones. She accepted my request today, all of this information, of course, and that she's gone ahead and set up to get billed by e-check, and she submitted the payment for $500 to get paid right now. Then it's going to let me know that she does have a $250 recurring payment that's going to be due monthly. And to set this recurring payment up, I'm going to use this link to log into my BizPayo dashboard and set it up. The reason that we give you this option here to set up the recurring payment is so you can set it up whatever works for your firm. You know, maybe you bill on the first of the month, or you like to bill in the middle of the month or the first Tuesday of every month. You get to control this still, and we want you to be able to control how you want the recurring payments to work. So it's just going to prompt you to go ahead and click here to log in, and we'll go ahead and get Michelle set up with her recurring payments. So you can see now, if I come into recent engagements, we've got Michelle Jones here, and now her status has been changed to accepted, right? It's turned to green. She's accepted my agreement. When I come in here, I'm going to have a lot more information than I did before. It's going to let me know when she signed the agreement. It's going to still have that link. It's going to let me know that she signed it, her IP address, she signed it on the 19th. And then there's even going to be an activity log of all of the work that we've been doing with Michelle so far. Like I said, this will always be here. It's a repository of all of the engagements that you send to clients. They'll always be here, so you'll always have them. And you always have a link to the original one as well. But what I can see now is I've got this big green button here that's letting me know I need to schedule payments for Michelle. I need to set up that recurring payment that she's going to send to me every single month. So I'm going to click Schedule Payments. We can see that her information is in here already. And it's got her payment method in here that she's added. There's the e-check that she set up. She's paying, you know, by ACH. All of her information's in here. I don't need to re-enter it. The system's going to remember it. This is the payment that she's authorized us to charge her for. And so all I need to do is go ahead and say that I'm going to be paying her she's going to be paying me $250 every single month. Option to put in an invoice number, maybe add some comments. Maybe I'll put per our agreement in here. And then I'll hit next. I choose when I want to start billing her for this recurring payment. So like I said, you know, maybe you bill on the first of the month or you bill on the last day of every month. I'm going to start billing her. Maybe I'll just go out exactly 1 month from right now, and I'll bill her on the 19th of every month. So I'm going to start recurring payments on January 19th, 2018. And this is going to be month-based. I'm paying her every month. We have a lot of clients that ask us about quarterly payments. Of course, you can do that as well. You can get billed you can set up recurring payments for every 3 months, every 2 months, once a year, however you want to do it. Totally customizable by you. You can even do it day-based. And of course, there's no end date for this. She's going to be paying me $250 ongoing. And then I just hit next. System is going to allow me to review and finalize. She's using her e-check. Again, that was all that information she put in there. It's nothing I have to put in. System retains that and remembers it for us. And then it's $250 every single month. I go ahead and hit schedule. And the system notifies me that this payment has now been scheduled. And if I go out to my dashboard, and I go into scheduled payments, which is the second option here, we can see that we now have Michelle Jones. She's the third option down right here. We've got her set up for January 19th. If I click it, it's going to give me a little more information if I want it. Tons of information inside of the dashboard. But really, we can just see that now we have her set up under scheduled payments. And so all of that was just sort of, you know, from just simply setting, you know, clicking the engage button to sort of get her started. Now I've got her engaged as a client. She set up her payment method that she authorized us to use for scheduled payments. And I went ahead and set her up for recurring payments so that she's going to get billed every single month, $250. I don't need to be emailing her, sending her invoices, reminding her that she needs to make payments to us. So I think that you're really going to like this, because not just because of the recovery fee that allows you to get paid at $0 net cost if you take advantage of it, but because you can set up your recurring payments so that you have that money coming in every single month. So what I want to do now is actually just cover some, you know, like little info pieces about BizPayo, things that maybe you're probably kind of wondering about with BizPayo, some questions you might have maybe to answer some of the questions you're already thinking about. So the first thing I want to do is is to let you know about the surcharge versus the convenience fees. So just to cover some sort of compliance stuff you might be wondering about. You can read over all of this sort of yourself and see how all of the stuff that you see up here on my screen sort of relates to you. But what's important is that anyone who's listening right now can use BizPayo to recover the fees by choosing to populate either a surcharge or a convenience fee. Everyone can do it. We provide the tech that allows you to do it, and you decide how you want to. Like I said, you can sort of read over this page, decide if you want to set it up as a convenience fee, if you want to set it up as a surcharge fee. I'd say that probably about 90% of our clients or more recover the fees using this technology, but of course, you can always make it 0% as well. You could do it $0 and not use the recovery fee. We have some clients that are just happy to use the tool. They're happy to get paid easily. They love using the engagement tool because they know they're getting that money coming in every single month, and they have the repository of all their engagements. And you can use that totally for free as well. The next thing I want to go over is just like I mentioned, we would talk about that electronic acceptance, that binding agreement. So what I showed you with the engagement tool, when Michelle came in and she clicked to accept and agree, and she did the electronic signature, well, she typed her name in and she chose the date, and it came in and it recorded her IP address. What this is a legally binding agreement. Sort of explains here on your screen how that works a little bit, saying that customers and businesses can legally bind a contract through a simple online or text exchange. If a person puts their name on an email or similar exchange, this is considered a signature for purposes of enforcing the underlying agreement. And then it basically says that a simple yes is sufficient. And of course, under contract law, there has to be an offer, which there is. Obviously, the engagement agreement, there's the acceptance, of course, there's consideration because there's money, and intent to create a legal relationship. So that's sort of how all of that works and how that agreement tool becomes a legally binding agreement. Everything that you need to make it a legally binding agreement is inside the BizPayo dashboard. Few little things, questions that we usually get about funding to your account. I'm sure that somebody is thinking it or wondering it. When is the money coming into my bank account, right? Somebody just paid me $100 and I got an email from BizPayo letting me know that I got paid $100. When is that money going to come into my bank account? As we mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, electronic payments take anywhere from 1 to 6 days. You're looking at 1 to 3 for credit cards, usually 4 to 6-ish for ACH or eCheck. But here are sort of two key items about that funding. The first thing is that it's going to fund gross. So if it's a $100 payment, it's going to fund to my bank account for $100. There are fees coming out of this. There are not fees coming out of this that are going to make it confusing. So it's always going to come in gross. It's not going to come in with fees removed so that it's confusing and it doesn't match up. The funding is going to hit my bank account for the exact same amount that somebody paid me. You get paid $100, your bank account gets funded for $100. In addition, you're going to get email notifications for each funding. For example, maybe I had 5 people pay me in the last couple of days, but they all paid me different amounts. I'm going to get a funding of $600, but it's going to be a mix of all of these people. So the email notifications that you get from BizPayo are going to notify you what everything is. Maybe it's $600 going into my account, but it's going to let me know which each of those payments are from. Maybe it's $50 from one person, $100 from another person, $200 from another person. So it's a really nice thing. It makes it really simple and really easy. Sort of takes out all of the confusion as far as the money coming in and all of that. A couple other quick little things I want to just bring up. BizPayo, the engagement tool, the new engagement mission on BizPayo is to really eliminate ongoing billing effort. That the time that we talked about earlier that you sort of spend wasting on billing every single month, it's really designed to just help you save your time and in turn save your money. So you don't have to waste your valuable time on billing every single month, which is not spent doing other important things like growing your business and doing things that are going to help you actually make money. BizPayo also helps you avoid having to write off bad debt, which is the worst issue to face. It's sort of like just taking your money and burning it up. And of course, BizPayo helps you avoid having to do client chasing. The engagement tool totally removes all of that. No more chasing clients to try to get them to pay you. We all hate having to do that. It sours our relationships with our clients. And of course, there's the notifications inside of BizPayo, the recurring payments, letting you know when recurring payments are coming through, letting you know if there were any failed transactions, if there were any cards expiring, tons of notifications coming in from BizPayo so that you always know what's going on. Let's cover the fees for BizPayo as far as the licensing fees. How much does BizPayo cost to use, right? If you're not a Build Your Firm website subscriber at the platinum level, then BizPayo is $19.99 a month as a standalone service. So everybody can use BizPayo. For $19.99 a month gets you access to use all of the tools, to use the upcharge technology, to use the engagement tool. If you are a Build Your Firm website subscriber at the platinum level, or you're a Build Your Firm website subscriber and you want to upgrade to the platinum level, it's a completely free tool. $0 monthly if you have a platinum level with us, or you want to upgrade your website to be a platinum level with us. So those are the licensing fees. As far as the processing fees and the recovery fees, let's just cover that really quick. That's sort of the last item that I want to cover, and then we can open it up to your questions. It is a fixed 2.99% for charge cards, but as we demoed, you can recover all of this using the upcharge technology. So that makes it $0 net cost to you if that's how you want to do it. There aren't any other costs. If no one, there's no monthly costs as far as for the processing costs and recovery. There's no batch cost minimum transactions. If nobody pays you for 3 months and you didn't have any transactions go through for 3 months, that's fine. There's not going to be any minimums. You don't have to be doing a certain amount of money every single month through it. So there's no other costs on top of that. And then just a note in here that for ACH or eCheck, it's less than 1%. So that sort of is the majority of what I wanted to go over. I do want to open it up to any questions that you have. And as you're getting your questions in, I have one last poll that I'm going to ask really just for us to know here at Build Your Firm kind of. It's really just helpful for us to know kind of what you're thinking right now, of what you think you want to do right now. Are you thinking that you're ready to sign up for BizPayo right now? Makes sense to you? Do you want to maybe talk to somebody first, have someone here at Build Your Firm give you a call? Are you going to read over the information a little bit more before you make a decision? Or nothing but thanks for the webinar. So just let us know sort of where you are on that. And then what we'll do is Nita and I will open it up to any of your questions that you might have. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and pop those into the chat. So I will give you guys just a minute here to get your votes in, and then to let us know. Let us know any questions that you might have. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close this poll. Thank you for letting us know your answers. You can see on the screen here, just so you have for your reference, if you did let us know that you wanted to talk to somebody in the poll. Some of you said that you did want to talk to somebody. Somebody here at Build Your Firm will get in touch with you. But you do see our contact information too on the screen if you need us. You have our phone number, you have my direct email, as well as Nita's direct email. Anita, do we have any questions or maybe any frequently asked questions that I might have missed in the presentation that you think it makes sense for us to go over?
No, as a stand, no, I think the upgrade to, if you were wondering about pricing in terms of upgrading to platinum, or you're not sure if you're platinum, you can just, give me a call or send me an email, and I can check on that for you and let you know what you're paying. And actually, Tangela Gerald just asked a question. I don't know if I messed up your last name. Sorry if I did. Does this connect to QuickBooks Online?
So
at this point, I will.
It doesn't.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Nita. You're probably better answering that question than I am.
I was just going to say we always come out with new, improvements. At this point, it does not connect to QuickBooks Online, so it doesn't have that connection. But it is sort of, something we would want to do at some point. But right now, we feel the client engagement section is just really, really valuable in terms of being able to engage a client, have it be, done seamlessly, and to set up recurring billing. Just to let you know as well, I don't know if Kelly mentioned this, but once you set up recurring billing, before payment is taken, they do get an email letting them know that, this is going to be taken, so it isn't something your client would not be aware of as well. And you can always go in there and change what you set up for recurring billing as well.
Great. I see one more question, Nita. I see one more that probably is a good one for you. The question was, how much does it cost to change a website from professional to platinum if somebody is currently at professional? Yeah, maybe they're thinking, is it a better deal to upgrade or to just get the BizPayo?
So the professional level is $83.33 monthly that you're paying, and then the platinum level would be, it's just an extra, I believe, $16.32. It's a total of $99.95. So you're paying $83.33. The upgrade is to go to $99.95 monthly. You do get access to BizPayo. We can also add sliders to your website, and you do get a larger file sharing tool as well of 10 gigabytes. So those are the extra features that you get by upgrading. Just so you're aware, if you do get it, as we do sell BizPayo as a standalone tool, and the monthly fee for that is $19.99. So it is actually a benefit to get it while having a website with us.
Thanks. I see.
Callie, there's one more question.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. It says, do you have a separate engagement letter software application?
Do you have a separate engagement letter software application? I'm a little confused by the question. I don't know if maybe you can ask it in another way. I know we have a common question that we get is sort of, are there engagement letters like draft or template engagement letters inside of BizPayo, and there's not. The sort of goal is for you to use the one that you're currently using in your practice, whatever makes sense for your practice and the services that you provide right now. So I'm not sure if that's answering the question. We don't have a separate software that's just for engagement letters.
So no, we don't. You're able to use your own engagement letter as well and just put it in there.
Right.
So you would be able to use your own engagement letter.
Okay, great. Okay, it sounds like we answered the question. I see another question. Somebody's saying that I have never marked up the credit cards, meaning that they're sort of eating the costs of the processing fees right now. So has the Upcharge technology received complaints from clients of accounting firms? So I think the question is sort of, are some of our accountants, some of the clients of our accountants complaining about having to pay for those fees? And the answer, and Nita, feel free to jump in if you've heard something different, but I've never heard complaints. Like I sort of talked about with that payment page, the clients always have a free option to pay. And that sort of eliminates any of the complaints that people might have, that they, that there's option to have to pay for a fee. They always have a free option. If they want to do charge card, then that's fine. There's the recovery fee there that they would pay, or there's the surcharge or convenience fee that they would pay. But people are happy because there's always a free option there for them to have. And of course, as I've always said, that fee is controllable by you, so you can make it whatever you want. If you're worried, that people aren't going to want to do it, you just want to be able to use BizPayo, you want to be able to use the engagement tool, you want to be able to have the repository of all your engagements and set up recurring every month, you can always set it to $0 as well. I see another question here about if you can use BizPayo if you don't have a website, and the answer is absolutely you can. You would get BizPayo as a standalone. Like Nita said, it's $19.99 a month. and you still would have access to use the dashboard. You could log into that dashboard like I showed you. You would have your own unique link, put it in your signature like I sort of showed you at the beginning. So you certainly can use it standalone. You don't need to have a website to use it. If you do have a website, it's just another place that we obviously would link it, make it easy for your clients to make payments for you, but you don't have to have a website in order to use BizPayo. So I think that does it for questions. It looks like that's the majority of them. Those were some great questions. I appreciate you guys asking them. Nita and I will stay on for just another minute or two, just in case any other late questions come in. But you do see our contact information here on the screen as well. If you think about anything afterwards, you can always shoot us an email or let us know. But thank you so much for participating in this webinar, for listening in. We really look forward to, hopefully helping you out with getting paid on autopilot, getting paid electronically. So thanks so much for joining us, and we will sort of just hang on here for just a few more minutes in case any other questions come in. All right, I think that does it, Nita. I'm going to go ahead and close the broadcast. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us, and I'm going to go ahead and close it down.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.